name is Scott Melliger, and I'm currently serving as Sheriff of Madison County. The Madison County Sheriff's Department has right at 100 employees. Approximately 50 of those are police officers, and the other 50 are officers over in the jail, as well as support services in the records division and over at the government center. Madison County has 13 police agencies total. We're just one of those 13. The police agencies work very well with one another. We call that mutual aid. In other words, the cities and towns will come out of their jurisdiction to help us with calls in the county when we're short-handed, and we do the same thing for them. We go into the cities and towns and back those officers up or help them work cases, and it's a very good relationship. We're very fortunate here in Madison County to have a relationship like that. Sheriffs in Indiana, Madison County Sheriff, the responsibilities are that we do patrol work. We have 27 deputies assigned to patrol. Those deputies patrol an area 450 square miles in size. We remain very busy in the patrol section. Of course, we have all three shifts, day shift, evening shift, and midnight shift. And we answer well over 8,000 911 calls every year. Keeps our patrol deputies extremely busy. Those deputies also investigate over 300 vehicle crashes every year. So as you can imagine, not a day goes by that we aren't very busy at some points during the day. The jail, another responsibility of Indiana sheriffs. Our jail was moved into in 1984, so it's just going on 32 years old. And our jail is a medium-sized jail in relation to others in the state. We have 207 beds, but we average about 230 inmates each day. So we have between 10 and 15% of our inmates every day don't have a bed to sleep in, and that makes for some interesting situations. In the jail we have 40 employees, and again they work all three shifts, and it's their responsibility to keep inmates secure. It's also their responsibility to transport inmates every day. We transport between 40 and 50 inmates every day, either to court or to other jurisdictions. We also have a criminal investigations division. We have 7 detectives that work full-time investigating cases throughout the county. We have 2 more detectives who are assigned to the Madison County Drug Task Force. The Drug Task Force is a combined effort between the Madison County Sheriff's Department and the Anderson Police Department. And those detectives, some of them work undercover, some of them work strictly enforcement and administrative parts of cases where they put cases together and get those cases to the prosecutor. The Madison County Drug Task Force has been very effective over the last 15 years. They do great work. They also work hand in hand with all of the patrol deputies and patrol officers from the Madison County Sheriff's Department, Anderson Police Department, and all of the other cities and towns in Madison County. At the Madison County Government Center, a facility some people call the courthouse because that's where our 6 criminal courts are located. The sheriff is responsible for providing security for that entire building. And we have 8 part-time deputies who work security there. Most of those deputies are retired police officers or retired firefighters, and they provide a valuable service because, as you can imagine, not every court proceeding is unemotional. There are people involved in many proceedings at the government center where emotions run high, and if people misbehave, then obviously the deputies have to try to keep that facility secure, as well as keeping any dangerous weapons out of the facility. The Madison County Sheriff's Department has 2 canine officers. We currently have 1 canine assigned to day shift, and that dog is a tracking canine as well as an explosive detection canine. And then on night shift, we are just getting ready to introduce a new canine because we lost a canine to an illness about 1 year ago. So as of late June or July this year, we will be replacing him. And the new canine will be both a tracking and a drug detection canine. So we're very anxious to get this new canine started. But both of those canine officers do a fantastic job. And as you can imagine, a canine is able to get into some places or apprehend people that most officers might not be able to get done. So we rely on them quite a bit. The Madison County Sheriff's Department also has a special weapons and response team called the SWAT team. That team is made up of 12 deputies. They are regular deputies who work other shifts and take 911 calls, but if a very serious situation such as a barricaded suspect or a violent crime in progress where the person is confined to a building occurs, then we call the SWAT team. Many of them come from home if they're not working, or if they are working, they drop what they're doing and respond to the call. And we have a very skilled group of deputies on the SWAT team. One of the things that has changed in law enforcement is that animal rights groups or people involved with animal care have become much more aware of the state laws regarding how animals are supposed to be treated. So the Madison County Sheriff's Department, like many other agencies, we have two of our deputies who are specially trained to handle animal complaints, which could be someone who's neglecting an animal, or maybe someone who's raising too many animals in a confined space. We do get frequent calls on this, and we have two deputies who are specifically trained to handle those calls. The Madison County Sheriff's Department for at least 25 years has had a very effective chaplaincy program. And the chaplains that we have, one of them is full-time, we have two part-time, and then we have a large number of volunteer chaplains. And they provide worship services for the inmates in our jail. They also provide counseling if needed and requested by our deputies. So we rely on our chaplains and our volunteers around the county. Approximately 40 churches volunteer for the program. We rely on them quite a bit. The Madison County Sheriff's Department has two full-time victim advocates, and these staff help victims of crime work their way through the court process. To give you an example, if you are a victim of a burglary, chances are you are traumatized by that, and if we're able to catch the perpetrator, you would like to be aware of what's happening with that case step by step, and the victim advocates do a great job of working with victims so that they can understand somewhat the court process and just be aware of what's happening with the suspect that's been charged in their case. At the Madison County Jail, we also have a specially trained group called CERT, and they respond to volatile incidents in the jail. If an inmate has barricaded themselves into their cell, or if inmates are fighting in a cell block and they refuse to stop, the CERT team is called, and they use their skills, their training, and some special weapons to get situations under control within the jail. Many police agencies, including sheriff's departments in Indiana, have reserve officer programs. And we also have a reserve deputy program here at the Madison County Sheriff's Department. Reserves are volunteer officers who receive several hundred hours of training, just like a regular police officer. The biggest difference being that once they're trained and providing services for us as a deputy, they are not paid. We do provide them with the equipment and the training they need, but they provide an invaluable service because we never have enough people to get the job done the way the public deserves. And we use reserve officers to supplement our regular force. And it's hard to think how difficult things would be without reserves because they provide a great service for us. At the Madison County Sheriff's Department, we serve hundreds of warrants every year. A warrant is paperwork that comes from a court demanding that the sheriff or any police officer in the county arrest a certain individual who's been charged with a crime. We have deputies who do serve warrants on a regular basis as part of their job, and it's very important, obviously, to bring fugitives in who have committed serious crimes so that they aren't continuing to commit those crimes on the street. And we serve several hundred felony warrants every year. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We appreciate the fact that you wanted to learn more about the Madison County Sheriff's Department. We strive for professionalism, and we know that to get our job done, we need as much help from the public as we can possibly get. So it's definitely a teamwork situation. We want the public to trust us and have faith in us, and the more we can communicate, even by you learning about the Sheriff's Department through this video, the better job we will be able to do for you. If you know someone who wants to get involved in law enforcement, we typically take applications 365 days a year. Again, we have law enforcement duties. We also have jail security duties. So feel free to fill out an application. We have a fairly long hiring process, but that is the way that we are able to hire the best officers that we can hire. As your sheriff, I try to never forget that you, the public, serve as our boss. You deserve the best protection that we can provide. And we try to have the best relationship with you so that you will share information with us. We develop a trust and a faith in one another. And that's what really gets law enforcement's job done. I want to thank you again for spending time with us by watching this video. If you have any more questions, feel free to call the Madison County Sheriff's Department whenever, and we will get your questions answered.